What's up, everybody? This is BakaBites. I'm Frankfurter. That is Magically Average. And today we are going over the summer 2025 anime season. We have watched episode ones of a majority of the shows that we've wanted to watch. There are still a handful that I need to get through, things I need to go back into the past to watch in order to watch episode ones. But between the two of us, we've gone through 45 shows. Some of them are going to overlap, or a majority of them will probably overlap. But nonetheless, we've gotten through a lot of shows, 25 for myself, 20 for you. We've got a lot to talk about. We are going to go basically from the bottom of our list, the bottom of the barrel, and make our way up to the top to see what shows we enjoyed, what shows we did not, just based off their episode ones. And starting at the very bottom, to kind of my surprise, and probably to yours as well, and that is Watari-kun's asshole is about to collapse.
It's not surprising.
It's at the very bottom of my list. It is a 5 for me. I rated episode 1 as a 5.
I put it as a five and a
I do
half.
want to watch. There you go. I do want to watch one more just to see what the fuck this show is actually about, because it doesn't really like
So
my notes were was this was not great. Animation was awful. Plot seems predictable and semi boring. And in parentheses, I put my guess for the plot. My guess is the sister ruined the garden as a small child, and Satsuki took the blame for it, aka the girl that comes along. I said, if this gets a dub, maybe I'll continue it. But as of now, this is the first one I'm truly quitting. Also, why is his asshole going to collapse? The title is just bait.
it's for any of you who's very confused, it's not Watari-kun's asshole is about to collapse. There are just asterisks in place of a
Yes.
word, and yeah, it's very.
And we're going to fill it with an asshole.
The worst phrasing you could have used there. I don't know. I might just watch a singular episode more, and that be it. Because
Yeah.
my notes were very much the same. I put titles confusing, characters confusing, conflict is just downright confusing, i.e., main character has a girl come back into his life that he hasn't seen for some years since their childhood, and basically hated her, one, because she disappeared for no reason, but the biggest reason of them all why he dislikes her is because she apparently destroyed his garden when he was younger. And that is enough to make someone your mortal enemy for eons.
Destroyed the garden and just fucking disappeared off the face of the planet. Like
bye.
Parents probably moved her, but whatever.
Yeah, it was something very simplistic, I imagine. Yeah, wasn't impressed. Animation was piss poor. Outside of one scene, where the mystery girl comes back and leaps on the main character and kisses him passionately. That animation team put their whole fucking ussy into it. Their pussy, their assussy, and their kissussy. They threw everything into that fucking 10. No, I lied. It was like 30. It was like 30 seconds of just straight slurping. And I was like, this is horrific to watch. I'm disturbed. Not to mention the main character's younger sister, who's like in second grade or something, first grade,
8 or 10 years old, something like that.
She's just staring there watching. The apparent school crush, who we didn't know about until almost that very scene, like happened to be walking by to drop off some papers. She watched it, and then their landlord / aunt stomps out and sees it as well. And I'm like, what a cacophony of errors this has become.
It was honestly
so
awful.
bad.
It was so bad.
Not a fun
but yeah,
time.
no, morbid curiosity has me in for one more. And then it's going into the deepest reaches of hell.
I almost just want to let you fall on the sword for that one and just be like, report back, sir. How much you jump on the grenade. I'm gonna stand here in the safe zone.
Yeah. Again, if this gets an English dub, I'm in. Like, I'll watch it. Like, I'll listen to it. But
it's not.
If it gets an English dub, sure.
Yeah, you're gonna. It's gonna be awful. It's gonna be like an audiobook.
Yeah.
No watching, just pure listening.
It might honestly be an improvement as to how bad that animation was. But yeah, that was my bottom of the barrel. The next one, which isn't too far away from it, which is I put at a 5.5, is Hotel Inhumans.
Okay, I did not watch.
By the way, I should say I should say Wataru-kun's Asshole is About to Collapse is on Crunchyroll. Hotel Inhumans also on Crunchyroll. But for Hotel Inhumans, I my notes for this was the show is basically about the hotel from John Wick without the IP. However, you'd never know it was about the hotel unless for the title in the last minute of the episode. The show itself was fine, but not super compelling. It doesn't help that the animation for the fight scenes, because again, this is like the hotel from John Wick. Like you're not supposed to fight in there or whatever. So like they have battle
Take it
scenes
outside.
beforehand for this guy coming into the hotel. All the fighting animations were just as bad as Wataru-kun's Asshole is About to Collapse. Like, it was not good
Mm.
whatsoever.
That's a shame.
Yeah, no, this show was real bad, and I'm dropping it. There's no way you can get me to watch episode 2.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even the bad, like, it's not the compelling bad that you're like, "I need to see more," like
It
Wataru-kun is.
it didn't leave you
This is just
intrigued.
straight just no, this
Yeah.
is just straight bad.
Yeah.
This is just like, I get what the show might be. It's just about the hotel and the people that come in and, serving their needs, but this ain't it. This
There
is
you go.
awful. So, yeah. I'm on to 6s next. Do you have anything still left in the 5s?
I have a 4.
Oh my god. Please tell.
These two I feel like you're gonna yell at me about, and I really don't care because I have such a strong opinion for both of them. 4
Okay.
out of 10. Night of the Living Cat. That one,
So I have this one at a 6.
it's just so my problem with it was that they went the super campy route, which is fine. I see the appeal. It does not speak to me. I thought it was just the over the top ridiculousness that you don't find all too often, but it was overtly campy of like trying to be like a horror style film. And they even give a nod to that in the credits where they use all of the very old, I'm talking like 1970s, 60s style like horror film posters, but they
Right.
change it all to like cat nightmare, cat zombie stuff, like all that jazz. I get it. I understand it. It's just it was bad. The dialogue sucks. The characters are not interesting whatsoever. Like I imagine what's going to happen is that this is going to turn into just a travel around Japan surviving, similar to a Zom 100, but with no actual
Substance.
yeah, that for lack of a better word, substance. Just there's nothing that keeps me along with this one. It's just campy, and I'm not
Yeah.
here for it.
Yeah, I gave it a 6 out of 10. My notes were it's a fine comedy horror show about people turning into cats. Might watch one more episode, but I'll probably be dropping it soon. I'm not giving it another episode. There's way too much that I've watched since then that I'm like, yeah, this is more compelling. I'm going to
Yeah.
watch this. I think, yeah, I don't mind the campiness. I actually, that's kind of the brighter spot in my opinion, that they did go full camp. My problem was more so with the fact that they start out with like the group and the group kind of getting killed off or turned into cats, or some of the group, and then they go back into time to like be like, here's how it started, but they don't link the two together by the end of the
I'm
episode.
sure there's gonna be a link later on.
Oh, there
Like
will be, but it just it felt so disconnected because like usually when they start that, it's like, oh, how did we get here? Let's travel back in time,
well,
and they didn't even go back to do that kind of campiness, which I really would have appreciated. Also, the transformation scenes, like of where they introduced the virus to like the full on apocalypse, took forever. Like that
oh
whole
yeah.
cat cafe scene took forever. So I think that it's just kind of marred by bad pacing and just general uninterest.
Not to mention they made you want they added in this extra layer of like, oh, by the way, the main character doesn't know his past and we don't know much about him, so you get to find more about him. And I'm like, I don't care. There's nothing
Yeah,
there's nothing there that makes me like really interested in finding out more about the characters. The only piece would be the cat virus. But even that, I'm like, it's very evident that they don't have any idea on how to do this, right? Like, okay,
Right.
similar weird over the top chaoticness, Train to the End of the World. But that one had like we got to just go down this train line. We're just going to take the last train because we know where our friend is and we know how to get there from where we're at. We're taking this train down. And you're like, all right, cool. We have a mission. Night of the Living Cats, like, survive.
Survive.
Yeah. I'm like, all right. It's just, yeah, it wasn't for me. I was already skeptical of it to begin with because I could tell. I'm like, okay, this one's just going to be dumb.
I thought it looked fun.
Is it going to, but the question was it going to be dumb fun or was it going to be like dumb serious? And it was neither to me. It was just dumb, period, like full stop.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you have anything? Oh, go for it.
I was going to say the other 5, and I saved this one after Night because I know this one I know you're going to be pissed at me about. I gave a 5 out of 10 to Turkey.
Okay. You know, I so this one is not necessarily higher on the list, but it is at a 7.5 for me.
Okay. That's
because
I've heard.
So we can talk about it.
Okay. Because here's my problem. And I've heard mixed reviews online too. Turkey was advertised at the very beginning when we did the preview. And I don't know if you've gone back to Live Chart and looked. They've added a spoiler cap now for the actual synopsis. And in addition to that, changed the actual the like little name card thing, the poster,
right?
For
the genres
to them. No, not the well, they changed that too. They changed the tags, but they also changed the poster for it because originally it was the 4 girls bowling, and you're like, oh sweet, like a bowling anime. This will be fun. This will be like hopefully something laid back like a Soraya Utility or the angler one. I can't remember that one that you watched. That one was a lot more emotional, but like the fishing one, right? Like more casual, more like just rural type girls trying to put together a makeshift bowling team for their high school, right? It was going to be fun. No. And apologies if you haven't watched it. There is going to be a slight spoiler. So if you want to save yourself and still want to watch it and you haven't, skip ahead.
If you're watching, I'll give a thumbs up when you can listen again.
Yeah.
Until then, close your ears.
This shit turned into a fucking isekai. A time-traveling isekai. Like, they went back in time because a bowling...
We gotta go back!
Marty, we gotta go back. A lightning struck an ancient bowling ball that was uncovered from an old bookstore that was torn down for
nobody went into.
Yeah, they try to set up this like weird mystery. They're like, what's this? It's the whole empty space. What used to be there? It's a bookstore. Oh, okay. We never went there. And then it's like, lo and behold, there was an ancient bowling ball stuck in the ground, and it slowly kept getting uncovered as the episode progressed. And then bang, lightning struck it. And it just so happened to be at the same time that one of the girls was bowling, and she got sucked into a time warp, and all the girls tagged along behind, and whoa, they are now in feudal Japan.
Let's do the time walk again.
Okay, so because you haven't read the synopsis, can I spoil something for you? Just because I think it will affect your score.
I'm reading it right now. I have it up. The story.
I want to tell you.
Okay.
Please let me tell you. They get to progress through time by, drum roll please, making a strike. That's the only way they can escape each time period and progress forward. They have to make a strike. Now you might be asking yourself, Magically Average, was there bowling back in feudal Japan? Answer, no. So how are they going to make a strike, you might ask? Well, that's the mystery. Woo!
Okay, we're going back to unspoilers.
Okay, thumbs up. You're good. All right, no more spoilers. I was so into it 95% of the way through, and the moment the episode was over, I was like, you've got to be shitting me. They set up so much drama. They set up like real tension, and there was like very serious emotional points in the episode, and I'm like, this is great. Like for a first episode, and it's a fantastic, because you start with like a conflict, you start with like everything slowly unraveling you know, like all of like the fun group you've put together just to enjoy your time after school is starting to just
Mhm.
come apart at the seams, and you're like, oh man, how's this gonna end? And then that shit happens and you're like, what the actual fuck is going on?
So, with you reading the synopsis and all that, and which I won't say out
Yeah,
loud
we're
again.
not, no more spoilers.
No, you've solidified my 7.5. Like, that
Oh my
sounds incredible. That
no.
sounds like the type of just weird ass shit that I'm all about. Hell yeah, fuck yeah, we're all in on this. But yeah, no, my notes on here is I thought that it was just a bowling or just a show about bowling. I did not expect insert spoilers here. What the fuck is this show now?
Like,
But yeah, no, like, yeah, I get it. Like, I was too expecting cute girls do cute things, but then they set all the tension, they set all the like plot in movement, and just like legitimately could have probably made a very good bowling show out of it. And then they just throw the biggest curveball at you, and you're like, pun intended, and just fucking wonderful,
I
wonderful. I think it's so bizarre, but I think it's great.
part of me wants to watch it more because I'm more just to see if I can hate it any like,
Less,
well, no, if I can hate it more than how much I already do. Cuz how I foresee this like evolving as the season goes on just makes me go, what and how and why and where? So I was like, no, you've got to be kidding me, man.
yeah, no. So for me, I'm giving it 3 more episodes just because I don't know if it's gonna get any better for how bizarre it turned, or if it's just gonna nosedive into the ground for
All
me.
right.
So,
I will watch episode 2 of Watari Kun's asshole's about to collapse, but you got to take Turkey on your own because
100%, I fully intend on doing that.
all right,
Um,
safe
Next up,
travels.
I'm in. I have sixes to go through. If you're
I've
ready
got
for
a couple of
sixes.
6.5s.
Cool. I've got 1 6, and then we can move into the 6.5s. For sitting at a 6, a solid 6, we have Togen Anki. I watched this purely because we went to the panel at AX. The first episode was fine. Lots of actions with a small bit of world building and character introduction, an even smaller amount of plot. I'll continue since it's getting a simuldub. It's legitimately getting an English dub on release. I'm just gonna watch it in English.
Yeah.
I
I
don't think that this show is gonna need too much brain power to watch. It's gonna be another action shonen type show, but less compelling as others.
legit, I couldn't have said it any better. That was in the entirety of my notes. The only difference is I gave it a 6.5.
Fair. Yeah.
That was
No,
it.
I the only reason I kind of would give it a 6 rather than a 6.5 is
Which
because after a night of D&D, having taken or drank 2 energy drinks within the span of 2 hours, getting home, watching the Summer Hikaru died, and then turning this on, I fell asleep during this.
I mean, it's fair.
Like mid-action. Mid-action just passed out.
Oh, well, that's a little bit more egregious, I would say.
Like
The,
it was just one of those just like it could not hold me.
this
I rewatched the first like last 15 minutes of it the
this
next morning.
floated between the fine and the good just purely because I was interested with how it ended, I'll say. Everything leading up to the ending, I was like, you could have slapped on any other title of an old anime and I'd have been like, yeah, I think that's it, probably. It seems like it.
Sure.
It just had a new polish to it, but I'm like, it has all the same elements, angsty yet caring MC, a wild twist with a somber moment, dastardly bad guy, and a mysterious teacher type person to end it all. It's like it was like the 4 elements of what felt like mid 2000s to early 2010s shonen anime had, and I'm like, yep, that's fine. You have a little polish so it looks a little nicer, and you add I guess another layer of like the Onis
Yeah.
and this one family. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. Fine enough. Not great.
Speaking of other names, was this Onipon?
Oni, 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 Oni,
Oni. Oh god, I can't even. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. So moving on, that's my last 6 that I have. The rest I have are 6.5s. One that I'm just gonna go through really quickly because I'm gonna watch it fully, despite the fact that it's a 6.5 because I absolutely love it. Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon Season 2, which is on Crunchyroll. By the way, all the shows that we've talked about are on Crunchyroll. Tongan Anki is on Crunchyroll and Netflix. So if you want to watch it on Netflix, you can do that there.
I also think it's on Hulu.
It could be.
I think it is.
Yeah, like there are a lot of shows that are like kind of cross-pollinated this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reborn as a Vending Machine Season 2 starts right off where it left off, and honestly did a really good job about setting up the next arc / possible season. It's still not the greatest show by any means. Doesn't need a lot of brain power. It's just pure stupid fun.
Yeah.
Dude's a fucking vending machine that can transform into other vending machines to solve his problems. Like, what more do you want? Like, if that doesn't appeal to you, then great, you don't need to watch it. But if that appeals to you on any sort of ooga booga brain level, watch it. It's wonderful. But yeah, it's the solidest 6.5 out of 10 by far. And then I have two more. One which I don't think you watched, and one that you did watch that you'll be upset at. Detectives these days are crazy. This is a show. I had to.
I know you do. It scratches that itch, but
it doesn't though. That's the thing.
Every time you're like, man, this is the one. It's gonna really get me. You want to know what you're like. Oops, I came back and I have poison ivy.
You want to know what's even worse? They brought back Detective Conan. They were like, we're putting Detective Conan back on Crunchyroll and Netflix. But guess what? They are skipping almost all of Detective Conan. They are just putting out the highlights for the like arc, and I'm like, I am so sad.
Yeah, they put up like episodes 1 through 8, and then it was like episode 30 or something.
No, they put up episode 1 and 2, and then skip to like episode 30 or something.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I knew that. I knew they skipped like a massive chunk.
they skipped so.
They're
I was like, yes, I could rewatch Conan. Like, it's wonderful. It's available to me now. Fuck you! You did the absolute worst dog shit ever imaginable.
You're better off just trying to find a way to watch Detective Buttface or whatever.
Yeah, Butt Detective.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, detectives these days are crazy. It's on Crunchyroll. Gave it a 6.5. Notes for this was really funny, but like legitimately, I laughed a few times. This is a really funny but dumb gag anime about an old detective stuck in like his old ways, who meets a high school girl aspiring to be a detective who like is up with the trends and knows how to do things nowadays. And so it's just about their partnership and trying to solve like detective work that comes to their table. The comedy and animation was really like, it was actually solid, but I just don't think it'll keep my interest. I'll watch maybe another episode, but this one's going to go on the drop list eventually. Like it sucks. Like legitimately as a comedy, it's pretty good. It's got its moments, but just it's not the detective show I wanted, nor is it the detective comedy show that I wanted. Like it's just not it. But the other 6.5 that I have that I know you're going to want to discuss and just beat me over, beat a rock over my head with is Solo Camping for 2.
No, I have that as 6.5 as well.
Legit. Okay. Glad you and I are on the same page for this one, because my notes are, it makes me sad that this guy, this main dude, looks like he's in his fucking 50s according to like anime standards. But he's only a fucking year older than I am. He's 34 years old and he looks like he's been through some shit.
He's like rugged. He's clearly spent what feels like thousands of years by himself, and he's like, I'm 34 years old. It's just like, whoa, the years have not been kind to you, sir.
It fucking hurt so bad when that popped up on screen.
That's what they do all the time. That's what they do all.
I was like, no.
The joke always is like, the characters that are like, oh, the woman that looks like she's 5 is actually 10,000 years old, right?
Yeah, I know.
But no one ever makes the comments about how the guys look like they're like ancient. Like they look like they're like semi-retired, and they're like, I'm 28 years old, and you're like, 28?
What the fuck happened to you?
You went through it.
Yeah. So there's that. And then I said there was also one subtitle issue, like mistake that I saw, that I was like, I hope this isn't AI. I hope they did not use AI for this.
Yeah.
Was it the beer chicken?
Yeah, bear. No? I saw bear chicken.
Bear chicken. Yeah.
I assumed it was typing.
I really hope that they didn't use AI for the subtitles, because spoiler alerts for another show later on in my list, the German subtitles they used ChatGTP to make the subtitles, and they forgot to take out ChatGTP says.
I'm sure people already heard
I
about that, but
yeah, but yeah,
I
outside of all that,
yeah.
this show is cute and fun, or like has a fun adult cast
Mhm.
that like truly shows how much an adult can be a curmudgeon. But like the animation quality of any of it was not great, which even for like slice of life standards, like this was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But the cast is what brings it all together. Like the food was probably the best part, and even then, it wasn't that great. There were other shows on this list that had better food animation.
I yeah. I said basically the same thing. I said it's fun, entertaining, relaxing. I'm sure I'll get bored of it in no time. But that the characters were what made it the most enjoyable. I enjoyed our 34-year-old two-time war
Dude,
veteran that
that
solo
fucking hurt.
camps.
That fucking hurt,
It
man.
was
Like it
I when he
really,
when he said he
truly
was
did.
34. It's funny too because like if you listen between Japanese voice acting and English voice acting, a lot of the times the Japanese voice actors are much older sounding than their characters are, and English they definitely like tune it more to the age, I would say,
Right.
or at least like the range, the demographic range of this character might be in if no age is presented.
Correct. Dude
Japanese
sounds like
the Japanese voice actors are always like, what do they look like? Oh, I got a voice for him. A 60-year-old just been hanging out by himself years alone, and then the producers come in, they're like, your character's 34, and he's like, fuck it, too late, this is already baked in. He's gonna sound like a 60-year-old war veteran that just
dude,
has,
it
has
hurt.
done with
It hurt
was done with
so
people.
fucking much.
It was so funny.
It
uh
was really funny, but god, did it hurt my soul so fucking much when that appeared on screen.
I'm sure it pained you dearly. Something that kind of pained me, but wasn't too much of a surprise. My only other six was the dealing with the Mikadono sisters is a breeze.
Okay, this is
This
one that
one,
I had on my list that I still have yet to watch.
honestly, my only thought on it is just go watch quintessential quintuplets. This is the basic
Okay.
premise of that show. It's kid comes from, well, I shouldn't say comes from. It sounds very crude. Kid's mother, famous actress, is was a prodigy, right? He,
Yeah.
nothing special, is middle of the road, if that even, but goes to a prestigious school where he's basically told you suck, even though your mom was fantastic. Uh, and then is approached by these three sisters who are the three princesses. I don't know, some fucking
Sure. Yeah.
egotistical title they have. And then, oh, shocker, they're sisters. And oh, shocker, their father was friends with your mom and is a benefactor, so he's now invited you to live with them. And the top shocker of them all, he's never home, so you're alone with three hot girls in school. What are you gonna
Ooh.
do? And it's like,
Ah.
it's basically the whole idea is he tries to get them to all come together to be a family because his mom wanted a family life outside of just her acting life. And it's just like, it's fine. The characters are very frustrating, but you come around to them even at the end of episode 1 to some extent. It seems like it's going to get horny though as the season progresses, because the whole like hook to it is like, will they start to develop feelings for this loser kid? Find out. And you're like, I
Next
wonder
time.
what's gonna happen. But yeah, just go watch Quintessential Quintuplets. The MC for that is infinitely better than the MC for this one, even though he does have his few moments here and there, I'll say.
Fair enough. I've got a handful of sevens before I get into the 7 5s. So
I've got 4 7s.
I've got five. So I'm going to start with one that I know for sure you did not watch, and that is Rising of the Shield Hero Season 4. I'm shocked at myself for putting this high. Because infamously, like season 1, I enjoyed enough. Like I didn't love it as much as everybody else did. And then everybody else knows the tried true story. Season 2 was god awful, and season 3 was not that much better. But season 4, I kind of just went into it. It's getting a simul dub, great, whatever. But at the same time, I was like, okay, it can't get any worse. I'm this far in, may as well continue. And my notes for it are a rush start to the season, like it just kind of just jumps straight into it and jumps from place to place like it has been doing. But then like that was like the first 5 to 7 minutes, and then the remainder of the episode, it really tapers off, gives way to a possibly longer arc of political intrigue in a new environment, and sets itself up for potentially a good season if they don't fucking rush it like they do with like every other arc that they've done. So like I'm hopeful that this series can be good and return to like season 1 goodness. But it's going to have to do a lot because the first portion of that episode really was rushed, and then it does taper off to a better like second 2/3 of the episode.
Mhm.
So I am hopeful but cautiously optimistic. And that
I
is
mean,
a solid 7 for me.
rightly so, given the history, the current
Yeah,
track record.
agreed. Other than that, I think another show that you have not watched for sure, I have The Water Magician in here. I
Yep,
don't know
go
if you
for it.
watched
I
that.
did not watch that.
Lovely. So I 7 out of 10. Both shows Crunchyroll. I think everything that we've talked about today has been on Crunchyroll.
So
Don't
far.
think that there hasn't been anything outside of Crunchyroll. So the Water Magician, I said a good start to a fantasy isekai. Basically, kid gets killed in an accident, and a angel essentially visits him. Is like, hey, you're going to be reincarnated into this world. What do you want to do with your new life? And he's like, I just want to take it easy. And they're like, cool. We're going to set you up in a house in the forest. Here's 2 months worth of food. You can use water magic. Have fun. Like we're also gonna put like a barrier around your house so like you won't be bothered by monsters. But after 2 months, you gotta go out there and fend for yourself. Um, so like it's just basically like, hey, he starts from zero minus the fact that he's got food for 2 months, and it's just like figure it the fuck out. And he does, and he gets like overpowered stuffs. I won't say that he himself is overpowered at this point by the end of episode 1, but he is definitely stronger than the normal human.
You
But
know,
I think that uh golly, I gotta go back to my notes here. Like it's a pretty solid start to a fantasy isekai. It's not like the normal ones where it's just like, here's boy who dies, here he is in the new world, he's powered, here's the main female love interest, here's some horny bait, episode 1 ends. Like that's how they usually go, but this one was much more relaxed and laid back. Didn't really let the world breathe, but definitely focus on the kid and just kind of his magical powers.
you know,
So for all intents and purposes, it could have been a lot worse. Also, animation was very good for this one.
you want to know what I hear when I hear that synopsis? Communism, the anime. You're telling me this kid gets free food, free rent for 2 whole months, and don't got to do jack shit? That is communism at its core, my friend. And water
Technically, he's
magic?
got free run for life.
What?
Technically.
Side note, I want there to be an isekai with a biblically accurate angel that visits you, and you just go, nope, send me back. Wherever I came from, send me back, please.
Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised by it. I wrote this one off, and then I had a buddy who, sometimes we agree on anime, and I took his suggestion and watched this one.
Fair.
So,
I won't
yeah,
be.
no,
I don't need to see fucking
I figured.
water boy.
So what do you got in your sevens? Because I do have a handful more, which I know one you've watched for sure, and I don't know about the other two.
I'll pick one that you probably haven't yet. I can't remember when
Okay.
you were listing. See you tomorrow at the food court.
No, I've not watched that one. That is still on the watch list.
Cool. 7. It. it no, that's. I mean, it is clear. It is a 4-panel ish type manga. At
Okay.
least that's how it feels. Basically, each bit. I think the first episode's broken up into 4 different. We'll call them bits. Okay, where the girls go to their favorite hangout place after school and they talk about a topic, and that's it. The dialogue's funny. It is interesting to see a gotcha crazed girl and a very intellectually smart gyaru just have fun conversing with one another. It's going to run its course very quickly. Very, very, very quickly. So much so that at the end of the first episode, I was like, I'm already kind of bored with it. Again, the conversations are entertaining. There's some comedic aspects to it. I really enjoyed portions of it, but the formula is very stale, and it's going to be hard to keep it going without some additional elements of like school life, home life, work life, whatever.
You know, I hope it gets the "'Tis Time for Torture" princess treatment, because
Yeah,
that show we thought was going to be stale, same old, and it just kept getting fresh and fresh, and it was wonderful.
They introduced more characters. They took the focus in on some different characters each episode too. It wasn't always about the princess. They added, like, expanded the world a bit. Like, it was great. This is a lot harder because it's grounded in, I say grounded in reality, but like, you know, it's two girls at school. There's no like fantastical elements about it. It's more just like, can you find something else entertaining to have them do with their free time with one another? Can you focus on each of them individually and kind of learn more about them on a personal level? Who knows? But it was fun enough as a very, very, very casual slice of life anime. It's not even a cute girls doing cute things, because they literally are just talking. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it 3 episodes, and that's going to be the determining factor. It might only even last 2, but it is a 7 just because it was entertaining enough. It was just fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Flirted on a 6.5, if I'm being honest.
That's kind of what I was getting at, like, feeling from you, but that's fair. I've got 3 more in the 7. I don't know about you.
Samesies.
Cool. I'm gonna go with another one that I don't think you watch. Onmyo Kaiten Rebirth Versus.
Fucking nope. Take it away.
Also on Crunchyroll. This is a weird one that I was just kind of perplexed watching. I was like, I knew next to nothing. The poster looked very generic. I was like, okay, what am I getting myself into? My notes for basically the show is kid gets isekai'd kind of in his dreams, and now he lives in this fictional world of the past, which also has future tech, where, like, imagine cyberpunk 2077 with their billboards, which are like, you know, kind of like glass panels, or, you know, kind of projected. Things like that, but in just like the Edo period, where it's just very old school. But it's a weird show in the sense that these creatures come out of like the skies and not necessarily invade, but they basically put a poison mist in a certain specific point of town. The town kind of gets cut off, and anybody who's inside that poison mist turns to stone. But then the town sends in what is effectively Gundams to get rid of these monsters. And this kid who's been isekai'd in here can just fight the monsters by himself without getting poisoned by the mist. And people are like, what's going on here? And then he dies, and it's a groundhog isekai.
No.
And he just wakes up like where he started again, and it's just like,
wait, that's the Tom Cruise movie. That's like, what is that? The Day After Tomorrow? Yeah, The Edge of Tomorrow. That's just the fucking Tom Cruise movie, but stupider. Wait, hang on. Let me go through, I want to go through the elements again. It's Edo period, but like Blade Runner. It's Blade Runner, but Edo period.
Yeah.
There's birds that don't invade, but clearly do because they poison like parts of the city.
A hole like opens up in the sky and poison comes out of the hole.
So a portal opens to a different dimension where birds come out and poison the city, turn people to stone. Then they send Gundams out to cure them. But our dude that got isekai'd there could just fight these fuckers head on.
Like he literally takes a pipe and smacks the monsters. Like
but confirming he does perish, and then just comes back again at his respawn point. So it's like it's like the creator was basically like, I'm gonna take everything I love about all these and put it into one. I love Edge of Tomorrow, love Blade Runner, Re:Zero, huge fan of. I should try to think of anything with giant birds. I guess you could like Neon Genesis.
No. There were no birds. No birds.
What?
They were just
poison?
Monsters that came in.
Oh, okay.
A hole opens in the sky and poison comes out of the sky.
All right, so Doom, he likes the video game Doom. Portal opens, just monsters flood out. What the fuck?
It's wild.
That is the epitome of I have no ideas of my own. I'm just going to throw shit at the wall and make like a Mad Lib anime where it's just like ReZero, Subaru, and his best friend Tom Cruise fight robots that turn people to stone. But when they die, they come back at their last respawn point, and then you have to add like fart because it's a Mad Lib.
So what I have for my notes, because I had to just explain the plot because I know, but yeah,
we're spending way too long on this too.
We are. My notes for it though: fun characters that are tropey with a cool take on bringing the future to the past. No. I really did like what they did with the time period piece. I really did like that part. The action scenes were well animated, but do we need another Groundhog Day isekai? Those were my notes. Honestly, like, it was so bizarre. It was like watching a fever dream unfold before your eyes. You're like,
say bizarre?
Is this? But yeah, no, it's just one of those things. Just like, what the fuck did I watch? I enjoyed it. Like, it's a solid 7 out of 10 of like, okay, there's a lot here. Let's see some polish in the future episodes. I am giving it 3 episodes to see how the fuck this progresses because I am fully interested in this now.
You watch it all on your own, good sir.
I will.
Can't wait to see you at your respawn point. That is so...
shit. It was a fever dream for sure. I've got one more that I know you didn't watch, and I kind of touched upon it earlier. Necronomicon and the Cosmic Horror Show. Now, this one I know is getting a lot of flack.
Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
I know.
That's what the title is.
It's far from that show. It is nothing like it. It's getting a lot of flack because it is... You done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. They use ChatGTP for the German subs or like subtitles and forgot to take the fact out that they use ChatGTP, so it is getting a lot of flack for good reason.
I mean, they had to list it. They're like, I think they're legally obligated to list the source for the translation, just like how they do any of the other languages in the credits. So they listed in the credits. It's like ChatGPT. They were just dumb. They were just dumb enough to have it still in like the dialogue lines. Yeah,
that's fair. But aside from that, notes about the show. Firstly, the premise is reminiscent of 3 like good portions of SAO, but like because they basically people are disappearing and a bunch of streamers are disappearing from the world and nobody knows where they're going.
They're getting swatted.
And then but then a bunch of smaller streamers under like I think it's 50,000 or 100,000 followers are given an invitation to like earn 100,000 yen or some amount of money.
Hopefully it's more than that.
It's like 1,000,000 yen or 100,000 yen to like show up. Well, they're small streamers, so like I need the money. I'm coming to this thing, like to do an event essentially.
Let's play a game.
They get hooked up to VR chairs and they effectively play Fall Guys. But and it's like super simplified, basic looking Fall Guys. Like the animation is not very good at all. In fact, it's pretty fucking awful.
Are you rethinking your rating?
Oh, okay. No, I'm not because like everything. So I'm getting kind of through the negatives before I really get to the positives.
Okay,
and it's revealed. And spoiler alerts for the rest of the episode. After the Fall Guy game ends, like 5 contestants or 6 contestants of the 50 people maybe remain, and it turns out that it is like SAO in the sense that if you lose the game, you basically die, and it's revealed that gods from the world that existed before, like this world, have come back and are like basically like we need entertainment, provide us entertainment. And beat our game essentially. And so these people are now realizing that all these streamers have left or were disappeared because they've fallen victim to these gods' games, essentially is what it is. So that's the premise. My notes here, firstly, the premise is reminiscent of the good portions of SAO, but the game and the contestants play in round 1 amount to basic Fall Guys. Second, the art style is also odd for the 2D sequences. They are super vibrant, unique, and filled with life. But then when it switches over to 3D, it's awful. It's not very good. And then lastly, they've built good characters and motives for each of the individuals that like make me want to continue watching this. Like it's really frustrating that the show was actually like outside of bad animation and kind of just like basicness to it and some of the bizarre, um, it's actually got some compelling bits to it that I'm wanting to watch more. So I'd put this on my one more list, but this is one of those shows that it is frustrating that it is actually semi good.
I mean,
So
it doesn't sound half bad. It does sound, I don't know.
it's very inconsistent
The
right
God
now.
thing, yeah, the God thing with like the entertain us, I feel like is a really weird bit that a lot of different anime have tried, and it's always based around like a death game. Apart from
Yeah,
a select few, one of them being like Don Machi, where it's got a cool element to it of like the gods coming back to Earth and having families and stuff, and then like giving powers. But then there's like future
yeah.
diaries that are just like fucking be better and get my
Everybody, "Ooh, I'm gonna kill everybody, but you don't know it until the end."
yeah. So
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I've got one more on my 7 list. I've done a lot of talking. You go ahead. Give
Okay.
me another 7 and we'll discuss.
I'm pretty sure you watched most of the other ones, but I'll give you Ruri Rocks 7 out of
I
10.
got this at a 7.5.
Okay.
So yeah, we're close on this.
My comment was, quote, "Mom, I want this rock," end quote. Quote, "We have rocks at home, sweetie," end quote. I was like, that's the premise. And
You
I simplified it. I know you're gonna be upset with me by how I have categorized it, but I feel like it's still accurate. I said it is, in my mind, based off of one episode, very similar to Solo Camping for Two, where I'm sure I'm gonna get bored of it because it's how I envision Solo Camping for Two is girl annoys guy more and more because she keeps following him to different sites, and they keep having camping adventures, and there's mishaps, and they fish and they lose their food, and a bear attacks them or whatever. You can come up with all these different ideas of what happens when you're
yeah.
camping, right? It's the same thing with the Ruri Rocks, where it's like they go to different locations and they find rocks, and there's going to be turmoil because someone's going to get hurt, or you have to, or you find new friends. Like they already showcased all the different friends they're going to gain in their little group of explorers that go find all these gemstones, right? Like it's just all that, but the whole idea is centered around like rocks, which is fine. It's cool. Like I like it. It's an interesting, unique style. It's cute girls doing cute things, very laid back, but I feel like it's going to be one of those anime where others are going to take over in terms of priority, and I'm going to push it to the back, and then on a weekend where I get sick, I'll just binge it in one whole day, right? Like a couple
That's
months
fair.
from now. It's not something right now that's compelling enough to make me want to keep watching it, but it's entertaining enough for me to give it, an episode where I can. So like I'm still going to watch episode 2. I think let me see, it comes out Sunday. So I'll watch it when I have time this weekend, But if I miss a Sunday, I'm not going to be bent out of shape because it's really just girls going and doing girl things like smashing stones together and finding gems.
Yeah.
Like all typical girls do.
So I gave it a 7.5. My notes are a cute show that throws you into the world of rocks and minerals. The MC is a bit of a brat, but Thick University will hopefully teach her how to revere, like, be one with nature and behave better after scolding her in the first episode.
They certainly
Dude,
made sure.
she's like a university student, just like I think second year or something like that. Just the thickest fucking anime girl you've ever seen.
She definitely went to Eddie Bauer and was like, "Hi, I'm these sizes. Can you give me pants and shirts 2 sizes too small for me? Thanks." And then just squeezed everything in and like, "All right, we're good."
She's like the definition of, "Do you want me to double it or give it to the next person?" And she is the next person.
Yeah, basically. Do you want to double
Um,
everything about you? Yes.
yeah, no, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I
Yeah.
really actually relate to the show a lot, because as a kid,
Because you used to
uh
pound rocks together.
no, as a kid, my I say grandma, but it was like family friends that were super close with their grandparents who were like grandparents to us. My grandma and grandpa, they live by like a little small riverbed as well, and we used to go down there and like look at rocks and like pull rocks out and kind of look for gemstones type of thing. So like to me, I really related to this show. I really enjoyed it and I thought it was super cute. I'm gonna fully watch the show. This is one of those relaxing, like work is just gonna be stressful for the next few months. Like I'm gonna come off work and just watch this to just de-stress.
Yeah,
This is gonna be that
it's
show
a
for
good
me.
de-stress show. I'll give you that.
Yeah, 100%. My last 7, which I also no, you've watched it. Do you have any more 7s?
There's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless
Okay, I still have yet to watch that one, so
that one.
go
This
off.
one. Okay, I said fun, goofy, and surprisingly wholesome. It's hard to find a girl's love these days that isn't either super emotional or overly raunchy. So it's a nice like refreshing feeling getting one that's like a comedic romance type. Basically, premise is girl who effectively was Bochi from Bochi the Rock, isolated, like is like, all right, I'm going to a different high school far away that no one knows me. I'm going to change my appearance. I'm going to practice how to be more social, and ends up getting in with the it group of the school, like the most popular queen of the school, and like her core group of friends. And the queen, we'll just call her, is becomes infatuated with the very shy girl after she was very upfront with her, because she's like, oh, no one ever talks to me like this. Everyone just kind of bows and is like, oh, whatever you want. Like, no one's very candid with me. Ends up confessing her love to the shy girl, and the shy girl's like, what the fuck? How? We just talked like yesterday. And she's like, I don't care. You're my first love. Let's do it. And she's like, whoa, 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 no. She's like, trust me.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but
mammals.
anyway.
And the queen is like, all right, hear me out. Let's have a test then. I will try to convince you that we should be in a relationship, and you can try to convince me that we should just be friends. And she was like, deal. So it's just like this, it's this fun back and forth where like depending on the day, they are either like they either attempt to be in a relationship where they feign like, they're like holding hands where they can and like being close to one another, and then there's other days where they're friends, where they're just like, she's like, we're just gonna go and gab about stuff and be social, and it's strictly platonic, nothing romantic. So it's
Fair
fun.
enough.
This one, apart from every other one we talked about, drumroll please, is on YouTube. So go find it on YouTube.
Yeah, when we were going through the list like last week of like, okay, we got these shows to watch, these shows to watch. I was like, okay, I don't know where these shows are. Looked them up on Live Chart and was like, because they have when you
The
click
little
into a show
tag.
on Live Chart, they have a tab. They have a tab that says stream, and it shows you where it's streaming. And this one said YouTube. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. Well, it's like that hotel one from a couple seasons back.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, no, 100%. I've got one last 7, and speaking of wholesome girl loves, I have Bad Girl sitting at a 7 here.
I gave it a 7.5. I like it.
Yeah. And it's very similar, I feel like, to what you just described, minus the let's be friends, no, let's be lovers, okay, let's do PowerPoint presentations. Other than that, like, it's very wholesome. It's not like it's another girl's love that isn't like overly the top, like just like perverted or
It's not
in your face about anything.
It's not perverted, I'll agree with you there, but it is a bit more saucy, I'll say.
Yes, there was one scene near the end that was a bit more saucy.
Okay, but to watch episode 2. Judging from episode 1, though, my ranking is based off episode 1. I agree. I said it's fun. It's just pure fun. It's another girl's love, which we always adore. It isn't over the top in its level of sexiness or raunchiness, and it's not one of those like very emotional ones like Whisper Me a Love Song from a couple seasons back, which just kind of fell off the cliff. So it's nice when we have these like very unique, weird, doesn't really fit into the standard like style of girls love, right?
Agreed.
And I like the premise too, where a girl who's like top of her class, like is like the politest of polite, is like, I need to get the attention of the corrections officer who's also like the president of the student council as well. I need to become a bad girl.
And then it's just their interpretation of being a
It's
badass, and it's
so
just like the
good.
most tame
I
fucking
love
thing on the planet.
again,
It's wonderful.
it's another anime where the characters are like the bread and butter of the series, and I I
100%.
I wholeheartedly believe it's gonna get better and better. I gave it a 7.5 because I did feel like it was on the edge of like it's definitely good. Is it great? That's hard to say because it's just a slice of life girls love type. It was really funny, and I
Yeah.
did find myself
So
laughing a handful of times.
agreed. And my notes were of a funny gag show with cute characters and a fun premise. We'll watch some more to see if they expand on it or if it's just going to be a one trick pony.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing inherently bad about it, but there was nothing inherently great about it. It
No.
was just a good show. I really enjoyed it.
Agreed. And this one you can find on High Dive, our first High Dive of the
Yes,
season.
the first high dive of two.
Of two.
So
Yep.
I've got 3.75s left. Where are you at?
Wow. I have 1.7. I'm assuming this is in your 7.5 range, so I'll just say it. I have Clavatus.
Okay, that one is an 8
Clavatus.
for me.
Wow.
I was more surprised by this than I thought I would be.
So I gave it a 7 because
Totally understandable.
I wrote it as my notes are, have you ever asked yourself what happens if the bad guys just come to the realization that they could kill all humans? You have this anime. it's it's disastrously gory with plenty of world building baked in through backstory and narration. Love the
Mhm.
balance. Did say though, given the ending, I was very skeptical on how things would proceed, but it left me interested enough to give it a solid 3 episodes. Having watched the second episode, I will let that leak into my opinion. I'm probably going to end up giving this a full watch because it is very intriguing. I hate using this comparison because I know people are going to get up in a tizzy about it, but it gives me Mashoko Tensei vibes in terms of like pushing the envelope with some things, of like the time period this is set in and the world that it's building. A lot of anime try to stay away from like the realness of certain aspects,
Yeah.
and this goes deep into those areas. I would say deep might be a very strong word to use, but it definitely portrays certain things that you don't see often in anime, and it can make it very polarizing in terms of people's opinions, and there could be some backlash and things like that. I appreciate it for that because you don't really often see that in a lot of anime because, again, try to keep it even keel as much as possible. Don't want to upset the fans too much or, have everyone riot in the streets because of what you said or portrayed.
Yeah.
So I can give it that level of appreciation. Again, I'm letting episode 2 leak in a little bit. But in terms of episode 1, that gives it a 7. If I could weigh in with episode 2, I'd probably ended up giving it an 8, closer to an 8. But 7
Okay.
was strictly just, it was also long. It felt like there was a
Yeah.
couple of like segments where I'm like, man, this could have really been kind of boiled down to just maybe like a handful of minutes and not like a full 10-minute sequence. But to each their own.
I did appreciate the fact that the first episode was an extended one. When I say extended, people think 45 minutes is probably like 37-ish minutes, somewhere in that
I think
range.
it was 42, 43.
It was in the 30s. I remember that much. You can. I'll fact check myself real quick.
Why don't you? No.
Crunchyroll.
You keep talking. I've got it on my phone. Just keep talking.
Okay. But basically, my notes here for Clavetus episode 1 was really solid extended first episode. The background art I think was incredible. The
Yes.
music fits the music fit the themes and mood of each scene incredibly. I
45
think
minutes,
that
by the way.
was it. I thought it
Mhm.
was 37.
No, I have
What was I
45.
thinking of then?
Boop.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't
Okay,
know.
fair enough. Um, but I also added that that the music fits the theme and mood, and the characters are all intriguing and have great design. I think that
Yes.
the designs for the characters are wonderful. I said it's a solid start to a new dark fantasy series, but let's see if it can do anything new slash keep my attention, because the theme of, hey, evil villain takes in human or race of, arch nemesis clan in to see if all of them are bad, or like, is my arch nemesis bad or are they inherently good? It's just what environment they're raised in.
Yeah.
Like, it's been
It,
done before. It's just a matter of, this is such a different take on it. Let's see if it like can traverse through that genre well enough and do some new things with it.
It's the epitome, because we haven't really spoken a lot about what it's about. Basically, it's the epitome of walk in my shoes for a day and see how you feel. But from the perspective of a villain, like the portrayed villain, where they could have easily just gone through and been like, hey, other villains, do you want to just team up and destroy everything? And they've been like, sure, and they could have done it in like a matter of minutes. But instead he's like, you know what? I'm actually going to see what the humans are like, because I don't get to like interact with them a lot. And we'll just see if I want to spare them, just for shits and gigs.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, no, I had that one on an 8. I was pleasantly surprised by this show.
Yeah,
I was.
I again really enjoyed the first episode, albeit most of my rating came in with the skepticism on how it ended, because I'm like, I can see it just becoming like a really kind of awkward adventure type, but I can also see it expanding outward and being more of like a unveiling the true nature of humanity and it's all of its dark sides. And that's why I would have given it an 8 now, having watched episode 2.
Yeah, since it's a dark fantasy show, it's like, okay, let's see which religious sect of this world is the evil that like permeates throughout everything.
Yeah. All right, I only have one more in the 7s now. So,
all right, I've got 3, and I think I'll go over one that you have not watched, and that is Lord of Mysteries. Now, I gave this a 7.5. It's on Crunchyroll, and I know a lot of people.
You're wrong. It's a 10 out of 10. You're wrong. Anime of the year.
It's the best animation.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah, no, I will give it that. This is by far, hands down, the best animated show I've watched all season, let alone all year. I truly believe that the animation in this show is the best we've seen this year. However, my notes, without giving anything away, because honestly, what the fuck, went in knowing nothing, came out possibly knowing less. The show starts like a shot out of a cannon and doesn't let up. It's cryptic, yet gives you basic knowledge of the world it's plunged you into, and says, "Here you go, good luck."
Yeah, have fun.
And by the end of episode 1, I'm like, okay, there are people who like have powers and they're called this, but then there are also people who have powers that are unclassified, and then they can bring other people who have powers into like a separate world, like a mirror world, where they just sit at a round table and they have a meeting because they're all tarot cards. And I'm just like, what? Like, trying to decipher this was like fucking playing a game of Wipeout. It's like the old game show TV show, just like going across the wall with the fucking fists that come out of the wall, just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm gonna try anyways.
Other than the round table part, you just kind of described JoJo's Bizarre Adventure
a little bit.
It's just like tarot cards, and I was like,
yeah, everybody has like, it's. I need to watch more. Like, I am going to watch more of this because I'm now profusely just like, what the fuck is going on? This is the show that had the 38-minute episodes.
Oh, there you
go. Episode 1 and 2 are like 38 and 37 minutes long. Again, I know that my opinion on this was unpopular, and they're like, "Oh, you just didn't get it. You're just small peanut brain that's so smooth." Like, dude, I knew nothing about this, and they threw me in as like, "Here you go."
Everything that I've heard about Lord of Mysteries, because I have not watched it, for very obvious reasons. That reason being, everyone online wouldn't shut up about it, and the only reason that people raved was because of the animation. No one said anything like concrete about like the plot or the story or the substance behind anything. Right? They were just like, the animation made me just explode everywhere. The best anime ever.
Like, Homeboy was in his world, and then he kind of just like gets separated from his body, and then he's into a new body, and then you see that there's like basically the like whole first part of the show is explaining the fact that this dude is now in this body because the dude in the body before and another group of people tried a summoning ritual that failed and ended in all their deaths, and he, like,
Fullmetal Alchemist,
I think, potentially committed suicide, and the guy like ended up in his body now, and now he's like, okay, I have his memories, I have I have to figure out how to be him, but also not go to jail because there's been a murder and there are now these powerful beings and I don't know how to decipher
Wow.
who's powerful, who's not. Like, it's just like, what is going on?
Frank,
It throws so much at you that you're just like, what the fuck?
what you're describing might be another anime that's out this season that sounds infinitely better, though. But we'll get to that in a
Is that
second, because I still have one more in my 7.5s.
okay? Alright.
You're
I
not
will be
gonna
watching more, that is on Crunchyroll.
you're not gonna like me for this one, I don't think.
Okay.
7.5 for Dandadan season 2.
That's fine.
Yeah, I just said
Like, I'm not gonna fault you for that one because, again, I
well,
think
I don't fault the season either. I don't fault Dandadan.
no, just
because
season 2 will be infinitely not infinitely, it'll be better than season
yeah, no,
like, knowing
I
what arcs are coming up, it'll be better than season 1, but
yeah.
having seen the first 3 episode in theaters
So
and not because they stitch everything together and I don't know where episode 1 ends, yeah, I can see episode 1 of season 2 ending and just being like, "What the fuck?" Because, again, I don't know where it ended. I didn't rewatch it, by the way. I'm still like, I'm not
shocker.
going to. I'm not going to until episode 4
No,
comes out.
I was gonna say honestly, because it's better for you to just have the condensed version in the movie format. And
Yeah.
again, very similar in my ranking to Apothecary Diaries season 2 or season 2 core 2, where
Yeah.
it starts off very lackadaisically, right? And that's to be expected. You're coming off of a major high. You can't keep that momentum going, especially when you transition into an entirely new arc, right? So, like, the ranking I give it, and fair, like, honestly, I probably gave it too high of a ranking at a 7.5 if I'm judging it based purely off of episode 1, because
Yeah.
it does feel like a second core. Like, it feels like it had a weird staggered moment in time where it's like, ignore the fact that we've been gone for whatever 6 months,
6
okay?
months.
And now we're back, right? Pretend like the last episode just ended last week and you're just watching a continuation, okay? And
Yep.
it's like, it's very hard because it feels like it's a stumble, but it's not. It's just a continuation. So as a first episode, again, wholeheartedly believe 7.5 is being very gracious to it. Likely could have given it a 6.5. It just, you uncovered a bit more of where we left off, but nothing amazing like happened. And again, that's fine. We're starting a new arc. Now, here's my little nitpick about the whole thing. I wouldn't have minded it being like a, hey, let's maybe pause, like delay it 2 weeks and just release all 3 episodes at once, like how we had the first 3 episode preview in theaters. Because having watched episode 2 recently, I'm like, wow, it's almost like this should have been a fucking condensed movie. Oh, wait, no, it was, because people got to see it in theaters early.
And to be fair, even at the end of season 3 or episode 3, it doesn't finish the arc. There's still the final like epilogue of the arc to go through.
And I assume that based on how episode 2 ends. I'm like, there's no way this can get wrapped up next episode. There's no way. But again, seeing the first 2 episodes, expecting what's to come in episode 3, and having the knowledge that this has been all shown in theaters in a condensed version, I'm like, just delay it 2 weeks and release all 3 at once.
Yeah,
like there's
nothing, even wait a week to where episode 2 comes out and release episode 3 a week early.
Yeah, however you want to go about doing it. It just, I understand in terms of the television airtime it has in Japan, that's obviously a lot harder to navigate. So I appreciate the fact that probably we're handcuffed in that decision. Totally fine.
Yeah.
And that's why this is a nitpick of mine. It's not having any factor into my rating. 7.5 is very fair, honestly, for episode 1 of this core.
Yeah. No, when you said Dandadan, I was like, yeah, that's fine. I completely understand, because knowing, like, I gave it an 8.5 because I watched all 3. And that to me was like an episode. So like, having seen all 3 episodes, I'm like, yeah, no, this arc is an 8.5. I absolutely love it. It's great.
And in your defense, you didn't know where episode 1 ended, which I don't
even know where episode 2 ends in this whole thing. Like it honestly, like,
I'll give you a spoiler. It ended on a really weird spot, and I'm just like, cool.
I can imagine.
Cool.
Yeah, because like we got probably like a third through episode 2. I was like, where the fuck does episode at 1 end? Like, I'm thinking to myself in the theater, like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't fault you whatsoever for rating that first episode as that, because as a standalone episode, I get it. It's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think, as you said before with Apothecary Diaries season 2, core 2, it'll only go up. Like, the ranking will go up later in the season because as
No
a full
doubt.
season, it'll be a lot better.
No doubt.
Um,
All right, I have 8 left, and we're getting short on time, so we got to roll.
yeah, I've got.
We'll save our
8
final, our
left as well.
top 3, obviously. So we'll go through the
All
next
right.
5. I assume the
Let's-
remaining 5 we have the very same, or the remaining 8 at least.
I've got 8 left, and I've got 2 7.5s left, so I'm going to go through them one, and you're going to hate me.
That's fine.
First one you're not going to hate me for, I feel like, Culture Exchange with a Game Center Girl. I don't know if you watched this one or not.
I didn't watch that one. Shit, that was on my list, and I did not get around to watching it. Damn it.
Super adorable series with unique art. I do hope, though, that the 2 characters are around the same age, because one of them is one of them just looks like a small child, and the other has a job who is presumably like a teenager in high school at like an arcade. And they basically exchange like a notebook by the end of it to say like, "Hey, you know, you told me to
look up the lore."
Yeah, no, the guy basically gives her a gift on Valentine's Day, and she takes it as like the way, or like gives him a gift back, and basically says, it's translated to being "I want to be your lover," but it's like, "Will you be my Valentine?" But he takes it as "Will you be my lover?" And he's like, "Hey," like that's when he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna put this notebook together because she only speaks English, I only speak Japanese." And they, oh god, as much as I love when Japanese voice actors try to speak English, when it is an entire character, 2 characters in fact in this show, it does hurt a little bit.
You're not.
It's not. Yeah, but it is what it is. It's fine. Like I will say the mom character is more of not great compared to the girl, like the little girl. That's fine. I can live with that.
Do you
but
want to?
yeah,
Do you want to be informed, or would you rather stay oblivious?
no, inform me.
She
13 and he's 16, something like that.
Close. She's 13. He's 18.
Okay.
Anyway,
I don't know if my humming came through or not, but I was just like, so that might be the death of this show. I was gonna give it 3 episodes, but I'm just gonna kill it off now.
That's
yeah, that hurts. Oh man, because like again, this show
why couldn't
was
it be
legitimately adorable.
Why couldn't it be like Girl in the Arcade? I know Girl in the Arcade is very sexual, but like in terms of age though, man, like why, like what benefit do you get in having whatever? We're not gonna get into it because I haven't watched it either. Moving on,
the other 7.5, which you're gonna kill me for. The summer Hikaru died.
Wow.
Now, I've read the first volume. I've loved the series. I think like that it's a very intriguing series. I do need to get back to reading more of it. However, this first episode, like, and this is just my notes, the first episode felt really oddly paced, with most of it revolving around the 2 like main boys, which in the first chapter they do a bit, but there's more intrigue to it. Like it's better paced in the book than it is. And I feel like for this first episode, the pacing was just so, not necessarily lackadaisical, that's not the right word for it, but it was very drawn out to the point where they could have reeled it in a bit better, because all of the mystery, intrigue, suspense, you know, what the show is shaping up to be happened in legitimately like the last minute of the show.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. I think it's going to be great overall, but I think that this first episode was really awfully paced, in my opinion.
I won't give my full analysis until a little bit from now. I will say my perspective will be coming from someone that hasn't read it. So I think that's maybe an important distinction. But
that's fair.
I can appreciate it, given that you have the background knowledge, having read, the first volumes.
It just felt too drawn out. I feel like they could have reeled it in a bit better and done a better job.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. Say with it what you will. I've got 8 5s left.
I'm turning into a cat.
All right. Night of the Living Tyler. I've got 3 8 5s, a 9, a 9.5, and a 10.
I have 2 8s, 3 8 5s, and the rest are in 9s.
Give me your eight.
Both of my 8s, I think. I mean, it's high enough. It's not too outrageous. Both of my 8s, returning series, Call of the Night and Mud Dud, my Jessup darling.
I gave Call of the Night an 8.5.
Okay.
I gave Mud Dud a 9.5.
Okay. My reasons. Very similar for both. Call of the Night, happy going back to my lo-fi state. Love it. It did not come out with a bang, though, in terms of like the start of a new season. I thought it was pretty tame, albeit this is the situation where I do have some of the knowledge, having read a portion of the source material that has yet to be animated. Not all of it, I'll say, but
I've
what's
read
to
all
come,
of it.
right?
Including the new chapters that are coming out, which was a shock to me to find out.
The laid back style of the first episode, along with like what's to come, is a very fun misdirection, and I can appreciate that. I do like how it started. It's just for a first episode, if you're coming in expecting like just out the gates, let's go do some craziness or whatever, you're just not going to get it. You were never really going to get it in Call of the Night either until probably later this season, I'll say. Yeah. But it's certainly giving like a sense of comfortability mixed with like, there's some uneasiness of what's to come forward. So I like that. And then just top it off, Creepy Nuts produced yet another banger. So there's always 100%.
And then my notes for it real quick. A fantastic return to form, continues right where the show left off, and delivered a really good comedic episode with some heartwarming charm near the end.
Yeah,
like it was what I wanted from a first episode for the show.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily need them to go straight into the plot, which they will eventually later this season. I just wanted more. Hey, here are your characters again. Here's their environment. Here are the side characters. Here's all their interactions. Now we can begin.
And I try to approach it from an unbiased standpoint of like, if I'm going into it not knowing source material, not knowing what's to come, how should I rate this first episode? And I think an 8 encapsulates it best, because they do set up like a, what's going to happen, Co? We know that you're running out of time to have her fall in love with you. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's the tension, right? And like from that perspective, it's like, okay, yes, but given their like the comedic nature of the first episode and their like how they're responding to it as well, like all the other side characters, you're just like kind of put in this state of like, oh, it's relaxed, it's chill, we're good, we're just vibing, right? But there is an underlying sense of something feels like it's gonna happen, just don't know when or what, but something else feels like it. So yeah, I gave it an 8 for my Dress Up Darling. My main problem with the first episode was that it felt like it was so fast. Like they moved at 1,000,000 miles per hour, which I felt was very rare from the first season, where it felt like they were giving a lot of time and patience to scenes and different progressions and like capturing specific moments. Episode 1 of season 2 was like a bullet whizzing by. And I'm like, holy shit, it ended so fast and we did so much. I love the cliffhanger. I mean, they're getting back after 3 years, so you have to like I understand the like sense of urgency to like get right into the swing of things. Like you don't want to be slow after a 3-year break.
Yeah, but at the same time, like the suit, like the outfit that he makes for this one episode, it was really quick in the manga as well. Like it wasn't a drawn out arc. It wasn't a drawn out outfit or anything by all means.
No, but
I understand what you mean, that it was a breakneck pace, but I think that it was better for it, because it's like, to me, my notes here again, picking up where the show legitimately left off, it was delightful in all regards. It also addresses some of Gojo's past traumas, and just as you think there will be a breakthrough, we get a bombshell of a question to end the episode. Very happy this show is back. But I think that the show was well done in the sense of, even with pacing, even though the fact that it was fast, it was, hey, this show hasn't been around for 3 years. Here's what the relationships look like. Here's what he does. Here's everything else. Here's his trauma again. But here's a bunch of comedy and levity in between all of these scenes, and just to, I breathe some air into, like, to make you, breathe again because we are going quickly. I had no problem with the pacing. It was quick, but at the same time, in my opinion, it was more so this was a quick arc in the books. Let it be a quick arc in the show, but also let's just have it be a here is again what this show exactly is. We'll slow it down from here on.
I would I was on the fence of giving it like an 8.5. I don't think it warranted a 9. Again, my whole issue was it just the level of urgency to get back into the swing of things, I felt like ruined a bit of the first episode because to your point, there were scenes of like going again and revisiting Gojo's like past traumas and stuff. And then obviously them touching on the relationship piece and like what the last conversation they had meant and everything about that, right? Like season 1, they spent a lot more time on it, even like longer sequences than what was in the manga. And I felt like here they were like, okay, we don't want to just have this be flashback, flashback, flashback. We got to get this shit going. The people have been waiting 3 years for this. Let's roll. And to me, that was a bit just it just didn't feel
Overwhelming.
right. Yeah, it was
That's
overwhelming.
fair.
It just felt very off for a first episode. Again, there's nothing bad about it. It was still great. I wouldn't say it was wonderful or perfect by any means, but it's not like it was like bad in terms of what was presented, like the actual substance behind it.
Yeah.
Plus the cliffhanger was hilarious. Like I love that.
Oh my
So,
god, it's so fucking funny. But yeah, that was my number 2 of the season so far.
all right.
With 1, 2, 3, 4 more shows left to go. In my 8.5, I have City the Animation.
Same here.
This is our first show and only show on Prime for the season. Everything else we've talked about is on Crunchyroll, with the Summer Hikaru Died being on
Oh,
Netflix.
and Call of the Night being on High Dive. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Correct. City the Animation on Prime. If you've watched Nichijou, this is same author. It's just another slapstick comedy fucking show, and boy howdy is it wonderful. If you need just slapstick comedy that is just like with reoccurring characters and settings, here you go. It's more Nichijou, just different characters, different setting. It's wonderful. Love it. 8.5.
Funny
My
skits, comforting animation, and wonderful characters. That's all I put. It's just
Yep.
it's yeah.
My
Fun.
last 8.5, which I don't know if you watched, and I am so happy that it turned out well. Secrets of the Silent Witch.
I gave it an 8.5 as well.
Okay. I I've read the first 3 volumes of the manga. I absolutely adore this series. This one I had a feeling was gonna get like the 365 days of the till the wedding treatment, where the animation was just gonna be piss poor. And then I watched episode 1 and was like, "Holy fucking shit, this is wonderful." But my notes were, having read the first 3 volumes of the series, I was impressed by the presentation, acting, and pacing of the first episode. They let this one really breathe, so you can get the small feel for the world while introducing you to the pivotal characters and their personalities. And I'm just looking forward to the rest of the season. This show is a delight. This series is great. It's another fantasy show. If you've enjoyed the fantasy kick we've been on, here's another one for you.
Yep. I haven't read it. I will just say that I love our new main character, which is a mix of Bochi and Frieren. Along with the supporting cast of very colorful, eccentric characters. This is where I'll probably sound hypocritical to most. I'll add in another like kicker to what I'll say, but my thought on it was not much was revealed in terms of the core plot or conflict, but it was still fun and entertaining and kept your attention throughout.
Normally, they really let it breathe.
Normally, I give negative marks if you're like, where is this going? What are we doing here? Like, what's your purpose? Here, I was less concerned with that and more so with like the world and what these like dragons are and like all the like the society of the witches and everything like that. Like that was more intriguing to me than like, all right, now what's gonna happen next? So that being
they
said,
did a lot of world and character building rather than plot progression in episode 1, which
that's totally
I'm
fine.
fine with.
That being said, though, I do need to see in the next 2 episodes something to move us forward, right?
You will.
No, and I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will.
Having read it, you will. But yeah, no, I understand the concern there. But again, I absolutely adored this. I was so pleasantly surprised that the animation wasn't just god awful dog water like some of these other shows have been
Yeah.
this season. So
Something that
so happy.
also had beautiful animation and surprised me, I don't think is on your list at this point because you only have 3 left, right?
2.
Or 2 left? Yeah, definitely not. With You and the Rain. I have it at
Oh,
a
okay.
5.
Yeah. This is not on my radar at all. So you'll
This
have to.
is this should okay. Where Ruri Rocks is your like go home after a long day's work and just watch cute girls go and mine gemstones and adventure with a bratty, snotty blonde chick and a thick as all can be university student, right? I would argue with you that this should be your actual comfort go to relax because I say this with all the love in my heart and with all sincerity, nothing happens in this anime. And it's perfect. It's perfect. Girl, or I shouldn't say girl, woman stumbles upon what is said to be a dog. At least that's what it writes on a piece of paper for her. Yes, the animal does write. Clearly a tanuki or a raccoon dog, if you're familiar.
Yeah.
And is like, "Hi, can you take me in?" And she's like, "You're a weird looking dog." And it's like, "Yes, I'm a dog." And she's like, "All right." And it's raining, and she takes it in, and it's super smart, and she just hangs out with it, and that's it. That's all.
Nice. Very
the
nice.
the amount of like atmosphere this anime was able to create in just the rain with like very minimal soundtrack or sound like background noise just apart
Right.
from just the rain. I was astounded. I was like, this is like what I feel like people who need sounds in the background when they fall asleep, like this is what they would listen to, but no dialogue. It's just this soundtrack of the first episode. I loved it. It is as pure of a slice of life as you can get, where there's really no real movement forward. It's just a woman has a tanuki now. Deal with it. What do they do
Great.
next? I don't know. Who's to say? But I don't care because I love them. The little character's
Fair enough.
hilarious. We meet hilarious people. I cheated. I watched the second episode already, albeit my ranking is only for the first. It's only for the first. Don't worry. But we meet tons of new characters in the second episode, and they're all great. But no, this is a lovely, lovely, lovely anime. If you purely just want something that is cozy comfort at its core, no plot, no real through line, just a woman going about her life with a tanuki as a pet. That's it.
Good. Yeah. No,
Absolutely
I'll
loved it.
watch episode 1, see how it is, but
It's on Crunchyroll. Go watch it. I'm in a pleasant
good to
mood
know.
now.
I've got 2 left, you've got 2 left.
Well, I got
We
3
have one in-
technically, but
Okay. We've got 1 in common.
are you sure?
Yep.
All right. Is it Gachiakuta?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my 9. The last 2 I have
That's
are
my-
9.5s.
that's a 9 for me as well.
All right.
For me, my notes on this, without talking about the plot, reminds me of a dark version of Battle Angel Alita. The first episode gave us a great explanation of the world above, the main characters, his motive, and left a lot of good mystery / intrigue all in one episode. Looking forward to watching more of the show. I think that the first episode was brilliant. It was well paced. The character was, it's a hardened character, just like down on his luck. He just had the worst possible life, essentially, minus like the one good shining bright moment of his life and like person, and it's just ripped away from him, and he's punished for it.
Yep.
And it's just it's dark, it's brutal, but it's phenomenal. I think that the amount of intrigue and mystery that this world has is great. And for being a Battle Angel Alita kind of alike show, it did a really good job of differentiating itself.
Yeah, I didn't have anything much more to say. I said all hype aside, it was a fantastic start to a new series. They set the world, the environment, the conflict. Gave a little bit of backstory to the MC, which is all great in the first episode. It wasn't even a long first episode; it was standard length, and they were able to cover all that and didn't feel like it was awkwardly paced either.
Correct.
It's a definite must-watch series. I put if you're looking for a unique twist on a fighting against the overworld type series. So,
Okay.
yeah, wonderful. I thought it was great. I've also watched episode 2, and I'm like, wow, this thing just keeps on rolling, man. It is fun.
Very good.
It is fun.
Very good.
And
I did watch episode 2, but the 9 is purely for episode 1.
And if you are interested about the creator of this very interesting kind of, I wouldn't say dark series, but it's got some like, you know, darker twists to it. The creator is a alternative baddie. Yes, you heard me right. It's a female creator, and she is badass. She was actually at Anime Expo with one of the other
was
artists.
she really?
Yeah, they were doing art near the Gachiakuta booth, and I was kind of pissed that we weren't there to see it. But
Oh, dang.
yeah, they're cool. They're
That's awesome.
they're one of the few creators too that like shows their face, and I'm like, damn, good for her. But yeah, definitely a good new series to watch, even beyond the hype that it received early on.
Yeah, no, agreed, 100%.
All right,
You know my last show. You have not watched it yet, so you've got 2 others to talk about.
do I know your last show?
Yes, you told me not to talk about it, and I'm talking about it.
Oh, you fucking suck. Whatever. I'm talking about the Summer Hikaru Diet. It's a 9.5. It's my top. It's my second of the top 3. Again, someone that hasn't read it. My notes on it were mystery, suspense, horror, ticks all the boxes you want in a spooky paranormal series. It's not spooky season, but it is summer. Haha, the Summer Hikaru Diet. Ha ha. All right. I said this is immediate. This is an immediate watch. The title gives away like the perfect amount of information, but only a sliver of what's left to uncover in this terrifying tale. I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is the type of horror type anime that you want. That's not like grotesque in its gore or like mutilation or anything like that, right? It is unless it's got a perfect balance of like the mystery side, the thriller side, the horror suspense side, in it like just in the first episode. So I'm all for it. Like I know my wife's read most of it as well. I know you've read a good portion of it. I knew this was going to be good based off of the feedback that was given, and I'm like, nope, I am not disappointed. This is fantastic. Definite watch if you are in the need for a new like mystery horror series. The last one I can think of, and it wasn't really even that like, it wasn't even close to this level of mystery or horror, but the last one I enjoyed at least was Dark Gathering. This is like a totally different feel to that. Where that one's like, let's go find ghosts and capture them. This one's like, what the fuck is going on with your friend?
Well, I guess I could be friends with you still.
Yeah. How about I talk about my number ones, because then you can finish off with your number one because you cheated.
I did not cheat.
You cheated. It's fine. We
No,
all know you did.
I'm impatient.
My number one, and it's not because of all of the fucking, whoa, it's overtaken solo leveling. Oh my God. Who would have thought?
Rent a Girlfriend season 4?
You nailed it. How did you know?
Fantastic.
No, I knew this was going to be I knew this was going to get some reception when it aired. I did not think it would be to this level, given the substance of the material that it's portraying. But it is rightly deserved because it is a like monumental one shot. Again, in a category that is very hard to depict, very challenging. It's got a lot of charged themes to it, so it can definitely be polarizing, but received a type of reception that did shock me. I'm talking about Takopi's Original Sin.
I still need to watch it.
This is only 6 episodes. Okay, it is a one-shot series. I read it
2 volumes long, one shot.
I read it probably a year and a half ago at this point, a year ago maybe. I made a TikTok about it when I read it, and I was like, hey, be forewarned. This is not for the light of heart. This is very difficult to get through. by God, is it told in such a perfect way. Like the mangaka, I think they go by Tenzin Zero, I want to say Tenzin 3. I can't remember. You can look it
I'll
up
look
for
it
me.
up.
Their way
Tizen 5.
Tizen 5. I knew it was something and a number. Tizen 5. Their way of navigating through these specific scenarios with like this whimsical charm built into it gives it such a layer of like uncomfortability that you just like you want to just scream at the book and be like, no, stop, but you can't put it down because it's so well manufactured. Like everything about it is incredible, and the first episode did not disappoint. I made a comment about this particular scene that I read in the manga where there is just a stark difference in style in a particular scene, and the anime for episode 1, it did it to such a powerful level that it made me very emotional. I'm not going to give anything away about this because you will go in thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? How can this be that good? And will not give it a shot. I will say this. This story is built around the premise of someone who is as naive as possible, trying to understand the ways of humans, but from a perspective of everything is A-okay. There's no strife where they come from. There's no real conflicts. If there is, they are minor, and they are done so in a very cute and lovable. They're resolved in a very cute and lovable way. Like this person thing comes from a planet called Happy Planet. And they don't understand the intricacies of the human ways, but they're learning. And they learn in a very traumatic way. Ways, plural, we'll say. That is what encapsulates this series, and I could not have asked for a better episode 1. I was floored. Again, I was very emotional throughout. It is not easy. I will say if you go in to watch this, please make sure, 1, that you're in a comfortable mental state, and I'm not saying this like as in a joking manner. This is very serious. This is a disclaimer that this is not, and there's a disclaimer for the episode too for all of you. Please go in in a very comfortable mental and emotional state. Please go in with like just all senses open. Okay? Don't try not to shut yourself off to it because it does have a powerful message. Just it's a lot. But by God, is it fucking incredible what they do with this.
I will say, so you brought up the author, and I was like, the art style seems familiar. Where is this art style? I've seen it before. Outside of Takapi. Where is it from? They also did Ichinose Family's Deadly Sins, which was a series on Shonen Jump a couple years back. Yes. I read the first few chapters, and I just could not get into it. It was just, I don't know, something about it. But this is one that I will watch. I've yet to just get my mind in the right space to watch it. Like, I've been so busy with work and other things that it's just like I haven't had a chance to just be like, okay, get yourself in the correct mindset to watch something that's incredibly depressing, but also very, very good. Like a very good work of art. But I will get there one day. My number 1 of the season, to nobody's probably surprise, if you've known me, watch the material that we put out there in the past, it's The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Now,
big old asterisks. Big old motherfucking asterisks.
Not really. Now, I did watch this legally. People are like, "Oh, you can't watch it illegally, like, or you'll have to watch it illegally." No, you don't necessarily. What are you putting your fists up for? No, there's no asterisks.
I'm gonna see you
I know you are, and we can watch it together, buddy. And we can watch the first 2 episodes together, buddy.
No!
I'm so excited. Yes.
I'm gonna be patient.
Nope. So, I'm impatient. I needed this show.
You're
This was the
you're
show that
impatient. You're also
impatient.
imbecile.
Impatient. Okay, fuck your couch. This is the show that I was most excited for this season, let alone one of the most excited for this year. There's another show that I'm more excited for this year if it comes out. But if you have a VPN and you have a Netflix account, turn the VPN on to Japan or other Asian territories, and Netflix has the English subtitles for this show. Now, if you want to watch episode 2, which came out last Friday, you will have to wait because there are no subtitles. It takes Netflix about a week for the subtitles to come out. So, I got a 7-day free trial for a VPN service to this afternoon. Watched episode 1 during lunch, and holy crap. Like this is a 10 out of 10 first episode. My notes on this were perfection. Episode 1 encapsulates this series perfectly. The character introductions focus on the main two characters that drive the series while also introducing side characters briefly, but giving them personalities. And they do dive into that, they will dive into those future episodes. The pacing of the episode was perfect, in which it didn't linger or rush through any of the scenes. The music/score was wonderful and fit each scene as needed, and the animation for a slice of life was top notch and really made the world of this series shine. The cakes were beautifully animated. The just goofy scenes where people, yes, okay. You know what? I'm trying not to give away like all of it, but like, anyways. The food in the series looked beautiful. The not necessarily action sequences, but like the sequences where bullies kind of see the main character and run away were hilarious and great. And just all the interactions between him and his friends were delightful. Like this show, there have only been a handful of perfect episode 1s, in my opinion. This is one of them. This is an absolute delight. I could not just like wait for this series. I had to get a VPN for this series. I would do it over again. I'm probably going to sign up for a VPN for 2 months somewhere and just watch this series week by week. So it is what it is, but I fucking no.
Patience,
no.
young grasshopper.
When have you ever known for me to have patience when something is readily available?
That's true. This is the same fucker that watched episode 1 of Skip and Loafer and literally the next day was like, I've read all of the manga, and I'm like,
yeah,
why?
No, like, because I want to watch it. This is one of my most anticipated shows. I'm going to do it. And I did it legally. And that's the most important part.
The asterisk is not because you did it illegally. The asterisk is because it was literally just like, it's coming out to Netflix in the US in September. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'll just wait till September, whatever.
Can you imagine if Netflix is like, we delayed it to September and you have to wait week by week to watch this show?
So I was going to mention that because we haven't really gotten any information apart
We've
from...
gotten no
it's just delayed till September.
What they're doing.
I imagine it's because they wanted to put it out all at once, and they were like, no, and they're like, all right, well then we're just going to delay it until you're finally done, and then we'll throw it out.
September's not even. It's not even going to be all out at once. September is 2/3 of the way through the season. It's July, August, September. The season ends at the end of September. They're putting it out in the early September. So are they going to do week by week? Are they going to put out what they have? Nobody knows. Man.
Just speculation.
I just said nobody knows.
Speculation.
But yes, no. Speculation indeed, but you don't have to speculate to know that this show is absolutely wonderful. I think it's the best slice of life show out there. You can make a argument for My Dress Up Darling, but to me this takes the cake. And speaking of cake, thank you all for joining us. That was a horrible transition.
We gotta practice this. We're going through a how to transition 101 class after this.
That was it's awful a crash transition, course. But we really need to get the hell out of here. This has been a very long episode. Thank you all for joining us. If you are here with us live, thank you so much. We do record these usually live on Twitch at Bakacopodcast. So if you're in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. We do see your comments and we try to respond when we can. But if you're not live and you're catching this on podcast services or on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us this week. We greatly appreciate it. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. But we will be together with each other again later this week, as you have already mentioned. So we will probably be putting out more videos with each other doing goofy ass shit again. sometime soon for our short form content. So if you want to follow us there, find us on short form contents of your choice at Baka&Co Podcast. But until next time, Spark Triumph. We'll see you then.